we are, another Sunday. Sitting over here in front of some of the arcade machines today. Haven't been able to do too much over here yet. This past week we went down and started looking at our buildings down at the outdoor market. We started loading up a bunch of stuff that we're going to take back to the auction. This year we're kind of rotating some stuff. We're going to get rid of some stuff that wasn't selling as good last summer, and start finding some other stuff that does sell better. So this coming week I'll be back down there. We brought one load up to take to the auction, and I think we got about another load and a half down there to bring up, which is going to leave a lot of empty space down there that we got to figure out what we're going to carry. I mean, you have to move stuff out that's not selling and keep bringing stuff in to see if that stuff will sell. You just got to till you find what sells all the time, and then you can concentrate on buying that stuff and bringing it in. A lot of our new stuff, this is going to be all used stuff that we're pulling out. We're going to add some more new stuff. This is more on our extra space. Well, it's actually two spaces. Our 20 by 40 building. We're pulling out a lot of the pots and pans and bakeware and some appliances and stuff like that they used to sell down there, but now they don't. So we're gonna move that stuff out and bring some other stuff in. We'll bring in some more new stuff probably, and some more used stuff. The records did fine last year. Books, we're going to mark our books down. We'll probably get out of selling books because they're just not selling like they used to. I guess people don't read books anymore. They read, they use their tablet, or they read off the computer or their Kindle or whatever. Movies always do fine because up there you can't get any TV stations up there, and a lot of the cabins, you can't have cable, or you're in the middle of the woods, so you can't put up a dish. So a lot of people have VCRs and DVD players, and just a small LCD TV. So we always sell movies. It doesn't matter, VHS or DVD, people buy them. Games, there's enough games that the kids come in and they'll buy them. There's enough kids that come up, to camp, but they'll buy games to take home and play because they don't bring their Xbox or their, PlayStation 2 up here. Now, I used to sell some systems. They didn't sell very well last year because, I don't know, there's so much of that stuff. I get more money for them selling them on eBay than I do taking them down to the outdoor market and selling them down there. It's probably because eBay, if they get it and it doesn't work, they can, send it back. But, even down there, I tell them, you get it home, it doesn't work, bring it back. I'll either replace it or, or give you your money back, whichever you want to do. So all that stuff will stay. That stuff's fine. All my electronics, the stereo equipment, the cassette decks, the DVD or the CD players, receivers, turntables, all that stuff, speakers, LCD TVs, all that stuff's going to stay. That stuff sold pretty good last year, so we're going to leave that stuff alone. But we used to sell a lot of small appliances down there for the people in the cabins, but they put in a dollar store up above, so I think you can go get anything you need for $10 anymore. Coffee maker, can opener, or whatever for $9.99. And you use it for 3 months, it breaks, you throw it away, and you go buy another one. So a lot of times they're not interested in buying anything good. Now there's a lot of, now some of the pressure cookers and canners. I think this year a lot of that stuff's going to sell better for the simple fact that with food prices and that going up, that there's going to be a lot more people gardening and canning this year. So, we kind of seen it last year over in our big space that the people are thinking more on the lines of canning and cooking because of going out to eat, and it's costing. Same with buying food, is costing. And now my furnace is going to kick on, so I'll probably cut this off here in a segment, and then when the furnace is done running, I'll bring you back and we'll talk some more. Okay, where'd I leave off? We're going to be changing quite a bit of stuff down below at the outdoor market. For those of you that don't know, I have a 20 by 20 building down at the outdoor market, plus I have a 40 by 40 building down there too. That we sell a lot of the stuff that we have over in the retail area here in the store next door. Plus I sell a lot of lawnmower parts and stuff like that, filters, blades, belts, just about anything, quail units, about anything that you need for your mower, unless it's an OEM part like body parts, steering mechanisms and stuff like that. I cannot get rear ends and stuff like that. But Stens is who I carry in my aftermarket. This year I'm probably going to be adding HIPA, which is aftermarket carburetors. I've used a couple of them already, and I've had pretty good luck with them. They seem to be, just like any aftermarket carburetor. They've been hounding me to carry their carburetors and tune-up parts and stuff like that, so I'll probably go ahead and start carrying them. There's some carburetors that you can have on hand. Other ones you have to order in. With the ethanol and the gas, it's just destroying carburetors and any fuel related on your small engines, fuel lines, fuel filters, gaskets, anything rubber. The ethanol, it's just chewing it up, and then your gas is turning into nice green crap that's got polywogs floating in it. It's terrible what the ethanol is doing. And then plus they want to go to 15% on our ethanol, put our booze in our gas. So aftermarket carburetors, if you pay somebody to buy a kit, especially on like your weed eaters, chainsaws, any of your little 2-cycle square box carburetors, if you pay somebody to look at it and rebuild your carburetor because it won't run because of the ethanol, you're looking at $100 easy for somebody to do that. Kits aren't cheap. A lot of the kits, especially if it's a Zama or the Tillotons and the Walbros, they're not too awful bad, but to retail those are, anywhere from like $15 to $20, $22. If you get the full kit with the tipper valve, Welch plugs, screen, everything to rebuild it, and then you pay somebody to do it. Like I said, they're going to charge you $35, $40 an hour, and to put it in the ultrasonic and clean it, and then rebuild it properly like you're supposed to. You're looking at a $100 bill. And hell, on some of those weed eaters, you can go buy a new weed eater for $79. So why would you have somebody rebuild it? You just pitch it in the dumpster. Now, if you have an option of buying a $15 or $13 carburetor for that $79 weed eater, and you can put it on yourself, that's what you're going to do, because you're saving yourself some money. Now when I retail, when I bring in used power equipment and rebuild it, my time is not really worth crap, because if I'm not fixing a piece of power equipment, I'm not doing anything. So if I can buy it cheap fix it and sell it and make some money, I'll make some money. Doesn't matter if it takes me 4 hours to fix a piece of equipment. I'm still ahead when I'm done because I wasn't working on anything to begin with. So I'm going to bring them in. Oils, you know, if any of you have looked into seeing how much a gallon of bar and chain oil or quarts of oil, you know, it's outrageous what they're doing with our oil and all that, but that's beside the point because they don't want us using anything gas related. They want us using all electric mowers, electric weed eaters, electric chainsaws, you know, so you put ethanol in the gas and destroy your small engines, and people are forced to either keep buying them and then keep putting them in the landfill, or you go electric, and then you still have all the waste with batteries when you're done with a battery. Whatever they do, you know, we'll just kind of move through it and do what we got to do. Other things, probably be bringing in a little bit more, a few more tools, new tools, just some stuff that people would use up at camps. Other than that, no. What's going on here in the arcade? As you can see, I moved over here because I seem to be a little washed out over on the other side with the pinball machines. Must give you a little different view. Sitting next to my favorite machine here, Solar Strike. Trust me, I'll be playing it before the end of the day, before I go home. I always play this game. And I got Tekken behind me. Atari's Wars Final Assault sitting right there. You'll hear Time Soldiers from now and then, and you'll hear Die Hard down there too. And you can see just in the corner is Cruising USA. My Chicago coin, I'm still working on it. I haven't done anything with it. The schematics that came with it, the writing on it is so stinking small, I had to find my big magnifying glass so I can actually sit there and read the schematics on it. You turn it on and you hit the start button, and it just, the score motor just continues to run. So I have something down in there that's either making contact and keeping the score motor running or whatever. And I need to read through my schematics and see if I can figure out what all turns the score motor on, so I can trace that back and find out if I got a problem there or what. Gorgar and Star Trek, I'm going to be working on them this week. I don't know if I'm going to do any videoing on those because they're just, you know, it's just changing a flipper sleeve and finding out why my solenoids went dead in Gorgar. And it's probably a fuse puked out because it's got a brand new rotten dog in it, a decaying canine board in it, so shouldn't be any problems there. Oh, let's see, what else? Drinking lots of coffee. Haven't been doing too many videos this week, past couple of weeks, because I've been doing a lot of repetitive stuff to get going, you know, to put on eBay. You know, I can show you one, how I get stuff ready, and then the next time it's going to be the same thing, so I'm not going to video it again and show you again, post another one just so I could have videos up. Trying to get some more interesting things to do. I'm going to start posting on Bald Guy Garage again. I have a Husqvarna 272 XP sitting on the floor I have to repair for a customer. I got started on it. Just got to get a coil for it, I think. That's all that's wrong with it so far, is we don't have any Sparky. So I'll put a coil in it. I got to get a hold of him. I think he has another 272 junk one. It's probably got a good coil in it. I'll have him bring me that coil and I'll pop that in and see if that takes care of it. I have some other stuff sitting outside and in the shed to work on. Another chainsaw. backpack, steel backpack blower, steel trimmer, stuff like that. I'll be doing that over on Bald Guy Garage for the outdoor market. I got to start getting all that stuff ready. Got a boat motor sitting there, an old Evinrude. Not sure what I'm going to do yet with that. I only paid 20 bucks for it, no gas tank, but I do have a gas tank over in the shed for it. So I might get into that, take that over and see if somebody wants an old Evinrude. We'll get it running. I think it's a 7.5. Rather it be a 10, I could probably sell a 10 around here because our lake, Candido Lake, is 10 horse limit. So anything 10 horse and under, you know, they use, but mostly everybody wants a 10 horse so you can scoot down the lake from end to end to either go fishing or to go party down at your buddy's house, you know, or cabin or whatever, or just go out and raise hell out on the lake. Like I used to when I was a kid. Did a lot of that. See, back in the late 40s and early 50s, Mercury came out with the Lightning, which was a 7.5 horse, the Hurricane, which was a legal 10, and the Cruiser, which is a legal 10. The Cruiser came out in 1952. It had a fully geared lower unit. The Lightning and the Hurricane was a start and go. Now they were illegal, like the Lightning was a legal 7.5, but the way Mercury pulled their horsepower off of those, I think they did it was either off the flywheel or off the prop. Anyway, it's a legal 7.5, but it puts out like an 18. The Hurricane is the same. It's a legal 10, but it puts out between 22 and 25 horse. So you put that on a little rowboat, little car top, tri-hull, and that sucker would fly down the lake. You know, we could cruise down the lake, probably 30, 32 mile an hour with one of those. I had the Cruiser, which was a fully geared lower unit. It was still rated like at about 22. You know, it was a legal 10, but it was still rated at like 22, 25 horse. But with the lower unit, with a fully geared lower unit, you rob some of the horsepower down on the bottom because of the bigger lower unit. And you're turning more gears and stuff in the lower unit, so it wouldn't produce, you know, it wouldn't give you the speed that the Hurricane would. But I could still fly up and down the lake. I had a little flat bottom fiberglass MFG, and I'll tell you what, that sucker would fly down the lake just in a rowboat. You had to hang on. It wasn't just putting. You didn't do any trolling with it. Especially those Hurricanes and the Lightnings. You start and you're flying. I mean, it'll stand a rowboat right straight up in the air and then bring it right up on top, plane out, and right down the lake. Loud as hell too. And we made sure they were loud too by cutting the lower units. They run those, the Hurricanes and the Lightnings on, I think it's a C-class hydroplane. On a C-class hydroplane, it's all plywood constructed hydroplane. You know, small. They're about, I think they're about 8 to 10 foot long, and just like an airfoil. I mean, you put one of those on there, and they were clocked at like 50 to 55 mile an hour with a Hurricane or a Lightning on it. The Cruisers, they didn't use the Cruisers because of the geared lower unit. They wanted the one. And then there was a whole bunch of other stuff you could do. There was special lower units you could buy. They called it a toilet bowl lower unit for it, which was a big bulbous lower unit that went right under the power head with your prop on the bottom, with just a little short shaft on the bottom with your prop. The toilet bowl, when you took off, it forced the hydroplane to stay up on top of the water more. Because once it's up on top of the water, the only thing sticking in the water is about that much of your lower unit, and your prop and everything else, your toilet bowl's up above. And then you could get more power out of them by putting horns on them. On the side of the Hurricanes, Lightnings, and Cruisers, there was a big water jacket on the side, big water jacket plate. And what you would do is you drill holes in it and you put 2 horns on it that come out to the back. So all your exhaust and water would come out those horns instead of pushing it through the water. When you have to push it down through the water, you lose horsepower again. So you put horns on it and make them, God, they would scream. Then you could put a little dude, you could fix your lower unit so you'd have a rooster tail, run down the lake with a rooster tail shooting about 12 foot in the air. That was a lot of fun those days. There's a lot of those engines sitting on the bottom of the lake. Almost lost one of mine. I held on to it came up off the back of the boat, and I had my feet up against the transom, and I had a hold of the handle, and that sucker was running out there in the lake until it sucked up the water and killed it. And I hauled it back in the boat, took it back to my shop, cleaned it all out, got it running again, and I was back out that afternoon with it. Made sure it was a hell of a lot tighter on the back of the boat too. But yeah, there's a bunch of those at the bottom of the lake. You see somebody go screaming down the lake, and the next thing you know, you see them rowing back to shore with nothing on the back of his boat. And I mean, it'd tear the transom right out. It'd tear a hole right where that motor was. So you had to make sure you had a dang good, strong transom on the back of your boat. And I've been talking long enough, and at that cue, my furnace is going to kick back on again. So I will cut it here and come back and tell you some more crap and roll a game while I was waiting for the furnace to quit running. Did a 184. My top score on this is 226. Let's see. Yeah, no, 236. I'm sorry. But so far everything's been pretty good since I started turning everything on and going over everything. My video games, I didn't have any problems with them coming on. Silver Strike was a little slower coming on because it has, if you're not familiar with the Incredible Technologies, the Silver Strikes have an actual computer in them. I have a series, or I don't know if I did ever post a series on fixing the Silver Strike. I think I got kind of tied up and everything got screwed around, and I couldn't make heads nor tails as to what I was trying to do on it. But this one I had to rebuild the video card and everything on it. Then last summer there should be a video up on that where we redid the monitor chassis in this one because it had a blowout and it actually burnt the chassis in it, so we had to do some extensive work to the chassis on the monitor on this, and she's working again. I have a second Silver Strike over in storage. It works as well, only that one's a little older. It's running a Dell computer in it. This one actually has the Incredible Technologies computer in it, but the other one has a Dell in it, which is kind of, I don't know if it was supposed to have the Dell in it or not. I had to do some reconfiguring on it, and that one, when you turned it on, you had to open up the control panel and reach down inside and turn the computer on, which was dumb. So I set it up to where it was a momentary switch, so when you turned it on, it would actually trigger the start button on the Dell, and it would come on, and it worked good too. That one, I think I have another disc for these that had one of the golf games on it, or it was no, I take that back. It was a conversion disc to go from golf to Silver Strike. I'm still looking for a Golden Tee. If I happen to be able to get everything for a Golden Tee, I'll set probably the other one up that has the Dell computer in it, and I'll put Golden Tee in that one. I do have a Golden Tee board at home that we need to go over, and I think it's an older Golden Tee because it's an actual board set, not a computer, where the newer Golden Tees will have the computer in it just like the Silver Strikes do. So that one we'll get to it. I have an extra computer for these actual Incredible Technologies. So if I can get the hard drive, you buy the hard drive with Golden Tee on it, and then you can reconfigure everything and make a Golden Tee out of a Silver Strike, or vice versa. I think at this time Silver Strike was more popular than Golden Tee, where right now it seems like Golden Tee has taken over just about everything in Incredible Technologies. Incredible Technologies also has a Deer Hunter game in it, and it's the same thing. It has a computer in it where the older styles have the board set. Now, I don't know if Incredible Technologies bought the rights to, it's either Buck Hunter or Deer Hunter or one of them, where they bought the rights to it and then put it in one of their machines with the guns and all that. I think we have 2 or 3 gun games sitting in storage that needs to come over and get fixed. That's why I'm not really in that big of a hurry to fix the stuff that's in the garage. I would like to have one of the driving games fixed to bring in, but I need to get my gun games out and get gun games going for in here, because I don't have it. You know, I got button joystick games, driving, sit-down driving. I need one driving machine. And Speed Buggy is the one I'd love to have going, because I really like Speed Buggy. And I need a gun game over here too, because I don't have a gun game. Got plenty of pinball, but I'm kind of quickly running out of room. But I think with my arcades, I can turn them back to back here in the middle and have 2 of them, one on one side, one on the other. Where a pinball machine is going to take up the whole area here in the middle, right where you're standing, is what we'll do. I can, if I did pinball machines, I could probably get three or four more pinball machines in here, which, you know, I have 2 more over at in the garage, and then I have 3 or 4 in storage to bring out. So quickly, you find an area or a building, and it doesn't take long, and everything's filled up, and now you need to add on and make more arcade. Or we start hauling stuff upstairs and start setting arcade upstairs too, which may be a possibility. Take some pinball machines up there. Pinball machines wouldn't be too bad taking those up the steps, but these big behemoths, I can't do it. I'd have to have somebody do it. Now I could have somebody help me. I can get the pinball machines up top, but not the arcades. Not anymore. Getting a little too old for that crap. But other than that, like I said, everything's coming on. Just slowly kind of working through some stuff over here. I'm over here Friday and Saturday to see if we get some people to start coming in. You know, it's still early, cold. It's only 44 degrees today, so I know nobody was going to be coming up today to check on cabins and, you know, and start moving around. It's just a little too early. But next weekend looks like like we might get into the 60s next weekend, and once we start getting the 60s and that, I think people are going to start coming up, and then I can start being open and having, you know, start coming over maybe Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, whatever, just to see what happens. But 1st of May is when we open up down below, and we'll probably be open here for the week too. We'll be open 5 days here. We're talking about probably just making our weekend Saturday or Monday and Tuesday, so it makes it a little. So you do have some time, because Monday I'll be at the auction at night or afternoon. Then Tuesday you gotta have some time to go through the crap you bought at the auction and get stuff ready to take down and get ready for the outdoor market again. We're here, during the week, like Wednesday and Thursday, if it's slow, I can stay over home clean and get stuff ready to take down. All of our orders will probably be coming here, so we'll go through everything and get everything ready here to take down too, as far as our new stuff. So I think I've rambled on enough for a Sunday, and hopefully some more things start happening. Another thing that I probably won't be posting as many videos because I'm not making as many because right now I'm kind of concentrating on getting stuff ready to open up down below. We've got 3 weeks and then we'll open up down there. We still have to go down, get cleaned up, get everything uncovered, everything put back out where it belongs, and get ready for down there. So I'll be busy doing that, plus getting stuff ready for down there. Now some of that stuff that I get ready down there, I will do some videos on. In here, when I start working on some machines, once I get my toolbox or my parts box all set up, I can bring it over and then I can start. I'll shoot a couple videos of probably working on some stuff. I already started a series again on Chicago Coins top 10. Top 10? Yeah, top 10. That's what you are. No, Cinema, excuse me. Top 10 sitting over in the garage. It needs some major help. But Cinema. Started another series on it. I've been kind of working through it again. That one was in rough shape when I got in, so I knew I was going to have some problems even after I got it going. I knew I was going to have some problems just because of the condition it was in. So we'll be working on that some more, and I'll probably start posting some videos on it too. So that's what I've got for you this week, and I hope you enjoyed the coffee break, the Sunday coffee break, and I hope you sat down and had a cup of coffee while you listened to me ramble on. So I hope to see you next Sunday, and if you like the coffee breaks, hit the like button. So until then, see ya.